you can see this is what you guys are going to see right there on. Why is it so? It's flattened out.
Just wait for a second. It's still
processing. Okay. It's still processing. Okay. So we'll get that to go. Okay. So we've talked about a lot this morning. I'm going to try to stay in the frame here.
Okay. Now we're live.
We're live. Awesome. Okay. I'll show you guys in one. Okay. Cool. Oh yeah. Okay. So there's an app that you use with the. Okay. Here's the actual. This is the camera. So it's a 360. It's a 360 camera. And there's 2 lenses, so it's a full 4K. You can stream live to YouTube with it. And what we're talking about today is we're talking about some of the the future of live video in 360, and then some other things that are going on with this technology. And I mean, some of the amazing stuff we talked about this morning is obviously, the different iterations that you guys have gone through, to get to where you're at today. Let me ask you, where do you see this technology going? I mean, what do you think, as far as, what's happened with you? Have you seen a big uptake in terms of people consuming live, especially with YouTube? And you guys, you're pretty much the only camera that can live stream to YouTube right now. So and you've done some, oh my goodness, I forgot to, it just jumps right back. So, you guys have probably seen a big uptake of people using Live 360 with the ALLie Cam. Are you surprised by that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
A little bit of yes and no. I mean, it's always comforting to know that we have accomplished something that others are not able to.
Right.
We like to take pride on those things for as long as those things last.
Right.
But, of course, everybody would like to have more because we believe that the more people would have this technology in their hands, the more excited they would be.
Right. So your goal is, because, I mean, initially you guys developed this camera. This is what's so interesting. This was primarily designed for monitoring, right?
That's where our heritage is
Comes
from. Right.
Okay.
So we have extensive experience in developing more traditional security cameras.
Right.
And that is why you will know that our camera, pretty much the only one on the market out there that could work 24/7.
Right.
That's working, that's streaming live and doing all these things that are not sort of a stranger to a security camera.
And then the other thing is live streaming to YouTube remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do that? Do you want to talk? I mean, I don't want to
let's put it this way.
Yeah.
I'll give you and your audience a hint.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
You could do this.
Yes.
There is a way. We don't officially announce it of how to do it and everything because we want to work out all the kinks before we go with it.
Right.
But if you think about it for a second, a camera connects to Wi-Fi. Right. In order to stream upwards.
Right.
And you're using your phone to control the stream.
Right.
So if you are remote somewhere...
So put A and B together.
Yeah, so if you're remote somewhere, you could use little devices that have little 4Gs in them that you can connect it to, and voila.
So there you go, guys. You heard it here first. So that's awesome. So and you guys are doing some pretty cool stuff. You're up to some pretty big stuff. I was very interested, obviously, with the bariatric surgery. I love the way that you guys. I have some of my clients that we're going to do this with, hopefully as well.
Cool.
The way that you guys positioned it in between the actual TV monitor, where people could see that if they wanted to. Students, if they want to actually see what's going on, and also see the doctor. So basically, the camera is right in between the doctor
and the middle of the action.
Yeah, and they can also see the patient below, which is really, really phenomenal. So to be able to be immersed
to where I'm looking, so you guys have to pivot the screen to look behind.
Yeah.
There's a mono we have pasted on the wall. It's very tiny letters, but it says, "Be there where you're not."
When you're
so before technology or regular footage, let's say, when you capture it, didn't really allow you to be there. They give you a story, they let you relive to a certain extent, but to really be somewhere, to naturally look around, what happened to the left? What happened to the right? And relive it in a multiple manners, different way every time. I think that's what will really revolutionize.
And that is the opportunity is there with the VR with these goggles. I mean, when you put these on, I mean, I'm happy enough just, you know, basically like taking the phone and just, you know, checking things out like that. But when you actually put the phone right here, you slide it into the VR goggles, I mean, you're immersed. You're immersed.
You have the sound.
Yeah.
Our camera has two-way audio.
Right.
So not only are you hearing what's happening on the other end, but if you want to comment, you can comment.
Yeah.
I like to wake up in the morning and we have some developers overseas and I check into the offices.
Yeah.
And if I see them slacking, you bet I will say something.
Yeah.
And I say something and it freaks them out because they hear sound coming from the camera, but it works. It's like me being thousands of miles away when I cannot physically be there at the same time.
That's really, so for you guys that own a business, I mean, I'll tell you what, I mean, to be able to, you know, to be there remotely, which is why that's what you guys first started out, you know, doing. That's your, you know, your roots. But, you know, now you guys are quickly learning the potential, I think, with social, especially with the rise of Facebook Live. Can't wait until we can do this on Facebook Live. It's gonna be phenomenal. But you guys are doing stuff with the dinosaurs too, the cable and TV networks, and so they're interested in this technology. They want to start using it. Can you talk about that, like the interest that you're seeing with the networks? Are they wanting to leverage this technology, and how are they doing it?
Absolutely. You want to mention a couple of things?
Well, I'm not sure we can speak about it right now because we still have the event upcoming, so we are not really allowed to disclose that.
Okay.
But what I can say is that there's a few opportunities that we see down the road, and we partnered with some of the large TV channels and TV stations.
Household names.
Who really want to immerse the user into the action.
Right.
So we're going to have our camera right in the middle of the action, and people will be able to see live what is happening there.
Right.
And also, I wanted to mention one more thing.
Yeah.
Specifically, you know, there is a whole bunch of industries where you can use this technology.
Right.
It's real estate, education, and speaking about bariatric surgery.
Yes.
What feedback we got from the surgeons and the doctors, and Antonio was there physically. The feedback was, I mean, it's really amazing because people were able to be there, right in the middle of the operation, and they could see everything the doctors were doing.
Right.
And until then, it was virtually impossible to do because you know, Dr. Ortiz, with whom we've done that in Mexico, he said that normally, you know, people study while they are actually physically in the room. Otherwise, you can't really learn how to do that. Right. And with this technology and with 360 video in general, it really changes everything. People can be there when they are not there, and they can learn and grasp the major concepts the other doctors use.
Yes. So for the training and educating, so for basically students, for them to be able to see and be, I mean, but I do think that for sure for realtors, for them to be able to get in, like, and this is the other thing they're doing, they're actually buying a bunch of these, and they're using it as a differentiating factor. They're giving them. They're actually giving them to
probably
people.
The cardboard ones.
Yeah.
Over there.
No, they're buying these in China, and they're buying them, like, you know, and they're basically like giving them to the people that want to basically view properties, and they're differentiating themselves by leveraging that. And so people are talking about it, and they're getting a huge, you know. So it's pretty cool. So what other ways do you see? People, businesses, what other uses do you see besides real estate? And
well, let me mention one very important factor. So I think this is something you said. Our heritage comes from you know, security cameras and broadcast world. That's why we understand that side. But what we didn't realize, quite honestly, that we stumble upon something that I don't believe anybody has before. And if you look at all the cameras out there that exist today, they're all, in a sense, event-based cameras. What I mean by that, like, you just got your live stream up. You needed to start it because you knew that the live stream was going to happen. And this is what you wanted to do. Same thing with something happening, you're going down the slope. You're going to get your camera, you're going to power it on, you're going to make sure batteries are there, SD cards, and blah, blah, blah.
It's a lot.
By our camera being always on, always recording, we keep on saying all because that's part of our word, right? Ollie. We realize that we're able to capture all the unexpected moments.
Yes.
So now imagine your dog doing a backflip. By the time you get your phone and saying, hey, you know, Rex, do that again, it's gone. It's not going to do it again.
Right.
But because you have our ability that was always recording, you just go back in time 2 minutes and you're able to clip that segment and now social share it.
Right.
So that's something we didn't think that we were stumbling upon, but we did.
Interesting.
And it's really cool. So we cannot wait
Yeah.
for this technology to be in as many use cases as possible and see what type of things the world could really capture in an unexpected manner.
Are there any questions, by the way?
No.
That I'm telling you, it's something's quirky about it, because usually there's like, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and type them in. That is very interesting, because I'll tell you what, you know, so what are we talking about? I mean, people basically just, you know, like having these with them all the time and having them on potentially remotely at some point. Like that's, is that where you think
it could be remotely, or it could be where most of the lifelong memories happen at your house.
At the house, or
right, or you went to some
For now.
event or you work or something, you have it, you plug it in, you're done.
Right. But in the future, if this thing was small enough
Yeah.
and
Sure.
powered remotely, I mean, do you see a time when people literally have, like, you know, have this on their glasses on the side?
It possibly can be.
You know?
Look at a lot of international markets use what they call the video registrators,
Yeah.
but in reality, it's just an onboard camera inside your car
Right.
that constantly reloops, rewrites itself.
Right.
And folks that use them actually do.
In the meantime, though, we can have fun with what we have, and
Yes.
and Jared is on here. He actually owns a boot camp.
Oh,
Okay,
cool.
so Jared owns a boot camp in Palm Beach. He's one of the most successful, you know, like boot camps there. So for getting in shape, but you guys don't need it because you're already, you know, you're.
Oh, it's just
in
below
shape.
the table. You can't see.
So, but what's cool is like imagine Jared like using it. First of all, monitoring, like keeping it for sure. He's got a huge open space, kind of like what you guys have. It's like
Yes.
a warehouse.
Yes.
I mean, it just would create such a really cool feeling, and people being able to see that and see what people are doing and how
And it
like,
motivates them.
Yeah, and then it's live streamed all day long. Jared, if you don't seriously for 500, how much 500 bucks? 400, yeah. And you guys can get these at Best Buy, right?
They're going into, well, those are announcements are to be made. But yes, there are going into those household name stores, literally for this
Amazon,
holiday
though.
season. It is on Amazon.
Okay.
It is in B&H, Ritz, and a couple of, let's say, usual suspects in terms of camera stores. There are in specialty stores.
Got it.
Big boxes are going starting October.
Got it. Okay.
Of course, you can get it on our website.
Website. What's the website?
ALLie.camera.
ALLie.camera. Okay, awesome. What else? I mean, there's just, I mean, I think it's fascinating what you guys have here in terms of the actual, like, I don't know if you want to show. Yeah, we can just grab.
Those that have the 360 get a chance to see it. Those that don't get a chance to see it.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, we're going to, here, hold on.
But
So
sure,
guys,
you can-
check this out. Yeah, that is actually a really fascinating thing that, why? Oh, wait, I put it on. Sorry, guys. Okay. Jeez, I got like, okay, so check this out. This is a closet of amazing, like all the other, I'm gonna flip this around.
Well, let's see, how can I put this? This is everything that we started from. Some of our earlier prototypes that look like bricks, but it's always
This
been.
one of yours.
This is ours.
Yeah.
It's probably 4 years old or so. This, started out a long time ago.
Okay.
This is when we didn't even have a camera. We started printing them just to see what it would feel like in
Which
the hands.
you guys have one of those, the printers,
Yeah,
right?
3D printers,
printer,
of
yeah.
course. Because, our folks come up with crazy ideas and we want to see if they're real.
Oh, they do come up with crazy ideas. Seriously, I mean, when I said hoverboard, when I got here, I said forget the ALLie cam. I was like, what is that
No, we don't
crazy?
have hoverboard.
I said, what is that crazy thing over in the corner?
Only ALLie cams here. So, but you could tell we tried everything from removable lenses and so on. So
Yeah, and then and this is what you guys actually use. This is the commercial.
this is the professional one. So
Professional.
that's outdoor.
Yeah.
The main thing about this, it plugs into pretty much all your existing security gear. Because our sister company does sell security surveillance.
Yeah,
So this gets ingested into those security channels.
got it.
So banks buy them, financial institutions, and so on.
And
so
the great thing is it's 360, so you just put that right in the middle. It's
Exactly.
same principle, just like the ALLie cam. It's got basically you've got a lens on both sides. Which I do have to say. I mean, that's one of the great things about the ALLie camera is that I've used other cameras, and it warps. It really feels like a much more rounded, feel. It's got a much more rounded feel to the actual video. Whereas theirs, you can look at pretty much any angle, and it looks, wherever you're at, it looks like a separate flat screen shot. Like that's
a natural shot.
A natural shot.
That's the whole point,
Yeah. Yeah. So do you guys want to show anything out there at all, or?
We could let you peek.
Okay. Let me peek. Okay. All right. And then so here, by the way, I want to flip this around so you guys can see this. So here's my ALLie. This one's streaming live to my YouTube channel from my phone right there, and then we've got this one, the industrial strength one there, that's going live to your channel, right, on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay. So pretty cool. This is Antonio, by the way. We just bumped into each other the other day on the airplane. It was really funny. Okay, so and they got some cool things. I want one of these too, by the way. This is
Here, not too long, but the point is, this is what we call our lab. This is where a lot of our very, very smart folks are working. So we want to see some funky things out there in the lab, working on the sides. Those are what we call calibration stands. So that's what our camera will recognize, and then our software does all the secret magic of putting it together in the live format. So to get calibrated. Like
awesome. Well, guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. I think there's something quirky going on right now with the screen, but have you seen any questions come up on either in the group or any of the groups or the Live Stream Ryan page? All right, so
any questions?
Any questions? I mean, we really we've had continually this is the first time I've ever done a live stream and not had questions show up. It's weird. I don't know why.
Maybe I scare your audience.
I don't know what's going on, but
maybe it's my blue shirt.
No, I think something's going on with.
Maybe you have no question, intellectual property out of us. Hopefully, not too many.
No,
I
hate if you guys.
are
watching. I know. I appreciate.
That's fine. That's okay.
Give me your sneak peek. Gotta call. I mean, you gotta get it when it comes out, though. So
yeah, no.
Here it is. There it is.
Wow. So this is we call a bubble. It's one thing you got to understand before things actually make it to market.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Frankensteins that happen behind the scenes.
Well, there's a bunch of Frankensteins right over
there. Exactly. So this is one of the Frankensteins. It's totally sealed, ALLie inside a bubble.
I like the design. on that one. It's pretty stylish.
That is actually something we're gonna release soon. I could talk about that a little bit. Yeah, you could upload your own artwork, and it will print your own skin for your ALLie. So this is something that was sent to us as a sample. Nice. So that's what we put in. And this one is actually, this is how you power it on. You move little magnets. Like I said, some of our guys are really crazy.
Yep.
You move little magnets to connect the two contacts, and then it starts working. So one of these guys have been sitting in the bottom of a pool for 12 days now, and we'll see what happens.
Wow, I have to say, I would definitely. Well, what I want to do, and this is what I was talking to you about, Antonio, is to be able to live stream. I don't think anybody's ever done that. To live stream underwater. So I introduced you to the guys at Camdo. Yeah. They're pros at that. They know what they're doing, so they can make that happen for sure.
So for us, the challenge is how do you make it watertight?
Yep.
And so it doesn't overheat.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of processing power that's going on there. Right. To stream live, to have no delay, zero latency, and all these things, or near to zero. So.
And to make sure that you don't get condensation inside there.
Yes. So
I've done this, so I know.
It's a whole science to get that stuff going.
Yeah. So especially when you've got heat going on inside there.
Yeah.
And then so the condensation, you can really.
Yes.
You got to have So that's just You got some pretty good sealing in there. It looks like. So you guys are.
Frankenstein sealing.
Yeah, but
But it works.
It works. And that's if my goal is to be able to pull off a 360 live video underwater.
All right, let's work on it together. We might do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah, Ryan is going to be the first one.
Hey,
to try
that's
that.
all I ask. Is that I can.
I already promised that to you.
You got a hotspot that works underwater? We can start with that one.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, no. I've got. So that's what Camdo can do. So
Great.
They'll give you. They've already. I've actually got it in my car. I can show it to you before I leave.
Cool.
So they've got a solution they made for underwater to really use. It's too expensive.
One thing for sure is that you look at all the other cameras, they do overheat after a certain
Oh.
Ours is designed to work 24/7.
Interesting.
So you don't have to worry about this thing overheating. You could try pretty much any of the 360 cameras. I haven't personally found one that goes past 2 hours.
Wow.
It's gone.
Guys, that's a really good point. Anything else that people should know about?
We could spend days here.
Well,
You'll run out of battery very soon.
Well, no. What I'm saying is what else should people know about like that? That's a very big, differentiating factor.
I just want to say that it does take a lot of efforts and a lot of ahead planning to create a product that will always be on, always recording, and allow you to stream kind of uninterrupted. It does take a lot of efforts. So I'm not surprised why it's taking big name companies a long time to achieve the same result.
You're the only one that can do that, right?
So far that we're aware of, sure.
I mean, sure. And people can basically, is there any limit for YouTube for somebody to be able to basically upload? I mean, is it just an unlimited storage capacity?
So far they haven't complained to us, so we'll see. So far we don't know.
Guys, seriously, I mean, Brendan and Jared, you guys that own a business, seriously, especially if you own a business, especially like a boot camp business, whatever. I mean, people want to see that, and to be able to have those moments captured, and to be able to go back and do a replay, let alone for just security.
Yeah, because there's parents, and you are not always allowed to stream the video, but he wants to have them for just to see what's happening, to make sure that everything is okay.
Got it.
And
it's more for a surveillance type thing as opposed to a promotional type thing, right?
Yes and no, because it is also for the peace of mind of parents, so that they could see that their kid is okay.
Okay, right? so they would stream it to YouTube then.
Well, you can, potentially you can still live stream, but you can stream to a link that is unpublished. So, you don't necessarily have to make it.
So it's not public.
You can still keep it private.
Got it. And that's a very important point. You can live stream. You can live stream to your event page and make it unlisted. And that's a very, very important fact that I want. So you could make it so that then you could just send that link to anybody you wanted to and say, hey, if you want to see what's going on right now, because the other thing that you potentially